Hey guys, it is 7:02. Got a little bit of a late start to tonight, but welcome back. It's Community and Culture Night, and I'm excited for what we're going to hear about. Tonight we have Jay Broader, and he's just going to talk about personal training, fitness, and exercise, and really just health. So I'm going to give us about like 2 or 3 more minutes to just let some people jump on because I know that this is around the time that people are getting off of work. Some people are finishing up dinner. So just go ahead and find yourself a seat on the couch or on your bed. Grab yourself a snack, and we'll start in just a minute. I see that some people are starting to jump on. Hey guys, how's it going? Hi. How's everybody's Thursday? It's a little bit rainy here in Indy, but good news, the next 3 days are going to be sunny and it's going to be warmer. So with rain comes some sunshine. Hopefully this weekend, we all get a chance to go outside and do something really fun. Hello. As people are starting to jump on, I see a couple more viewers. I just want to say that taking a moment to let some people hop on really quick. It's dinner time, it's get off of work time, it's rest time, so some people are finding their place. And we'll start in a minute. Yes, me too. I'm so happy for the weekend, for the sunny days coming up this weekend. I'm ready to go outside. I had the flu the past couple of days, so I've been stuck in the house. And then the first day that I can actually go out, it's raining, which is a bummer, but that's okay. Well, okay, it's 7:05 now. I'm going to let some more people just come in as they do. And I want to go ahead and get started. After a month off from C&C, we are back this Thursday night. I'm so excited. Our team is super well rested. We took the month of February off just to kind of recoup. So we did that, but we're glad to be back. And tonight is going to be a really exciting one. So I'm ready for this. And then also next C&C, just a quick announcement, is going to be our 1 year. So exciting. It's so crazy to think that we've already been doing Community and Culture Night for like 1 whole year. We've had so many like different amazing speakers on about like skincare. Obviously tonight is about fitness. We've had a filmmaker on. We've had people that like are owning their own businesses and doing their own like entrepreneurship, which is really cool. So that's super exciting. I'm just really excited for what the next year is going to bring. It's going to be really, really great. But more on that a little bit later. So tonight we are going to be having guest Jay Broader on, and I am a little bit more excited than the average person because I actually happen to know Jay because he is my brother-in-law. He's going to be talking about his experience as a personal trainer and just bringing us into his own world of fitness and even just sharing about his brand, which is called No to Cozy. And he's been married to my sister for about 5 years. So it's just been really cool to be able to see his like journey from the time that I've known him and to see how it's grown since then. He's super passionate about what he does and about health. And I've learned a lot about him. And I think that tonight is going to be a really good one. So bring your questions about health and fitness, and let's go ahead and bring him on. Hey, Jay.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for coming on tonight to C&C, our first month back since we took a break. So thank you.
Of course, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I think a lot of people are just excited and ready to learn about like fitness. I know at the beginning of the year, everybody's always like, okay, how can I start my health journey or just sort of like restart and find a better routine and better habits. So I think that you could definitely help with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So first off, I want you to give us like a little introduction on who you are and then how you got into fitness and how has it brought you to where you're at today as a personal trainer?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm Jay Broader, and I'm originally from Gary, Indiana. I went to Indiana State and graduated from there in 2011. And since then, I moved to the Indianapolis area. So I've been here for almost 6 years now. And how I got into fitness, really, it all started with a gym class that I had. And it wasn't just a regular gym class, it was strictly focused on weightlifting and working out and cardio. And this was in 8th grade. So this is the first time that I had any experience like with the gym or lifting the dumbbell or anything. Before then, I really didn't do much besides like play basketball, but really no strength and conditioning training.
Yeah.
So that was the first class that I had, which kind of sparked my interest. So going to high school, 9th grade, I joined the basketball team, football team. So that was like built into their normal routine. Strength and conditioning was actually a class that we had to take if we were on the team. So we had no choice. And for me, it just started to become second nature.
Yeah.
It's something that really kind of got rid of stress and this made things easier for me. I feel like it was a good way to decompress and just get away, kind of zone out, put your headphones on and sweat. And it really interests me since that point on. So it's been almost like 14, 15 years that I've been actually in the gym, faithfully working out consistently. So,
Wow, that's crazy. I wish I could say the same, but
yeah,
I'm still trying to find that motivation, and I'm sure a lot of other people are. But it's
yeah,
just, I feel like that's just like a testament in itself to how much you love fitness and personal training. Like to know that you started when you were young, and now you're like you've been consistently doing it.
yeah.
So thanks for just like letting us in on that little thing. Kind of related to that too. Like I'm kind of surprised that so young in 8th grade you were so motivated by that gym class to like keep going, because I know that it's definitely something where like exercise sort of like alleviates stress and things like that. So I'm sure that's where it like originally came from. But
Oh, yeah.
I think that is where most people end up getting into their fitness and exercise, and bringing that into their lifestyle, is because they're trying to find a way to like either one just like bring in like better health and
Mm-hmm.
get fit, or I feel like a lot of times too it's like losing weight, or they're just trying to find like better routines and habits and like trying to de-stress, find a healthy way to de-stress. So health and fitness can be pretty intimidating and overwhelming to anyone who's just getting started into that world. So for those people who are like just starting out on their journey, what are some things that you would recommend personally to make it easier for them, or just like simple tips that you've used in your life when you first started, or even that you continue to use now, that have made it easier to just like go in and go to the gym, or just like continue to eat healthy?
Yeah, I would say number one tip for me is to set small realistic goals.
Mm.
You get a lot of people that are maybe overweight or just want to get in better shape, and they make these big goals, or I'm going to lose 50 pounds this month. And one, it's might be possible, but it's not healthy. And when you don't hit that mark, it'll discourage you and bring you back to a place where you're not doing anything at all, possibly. So that's the number one thing I see it. And I always tell people, set small goals. So if that is, I'm going to work out 3 times this week, setting goals like that throughout your week. I'm going to work out, or I'm going to do 30 minutes of cardio on Monday, right after I get done with work. Something small so that you can hit these small milestones. And there's nothing wrong with having long-term goals, because that's great too, but having those small ones, so you don't get discouraged when you're not hitting the big one really fast. And also setting your mindset on things don't happen overnight. And I know social media and everything now, it's so easy to look at the next diet or whatever and see these different type of body types and things that are a lot of times bought and paid for instead of actually worked for. So I think knowing that, and knowing that, hey, I'm going to set a goal to become fit, but at the same time, I know it's going to take a while. So it's really finding your why, and why you want to do it. That way, on those days when you really don't feel like going to the gym, those days you really don't feel like eating healthy, you think back to that why and you realize, okay, I'm going to do it because of this, not because I want to, because this is the goal that I set for myself and I'm going to stay committed to. So
that's so good, especially just the finding your why. I feel like that's really applicable to like so many other passions too, like in order to keep yourself motivated and focused on what you want to do. And in this case, it'd be like sticking to like a fitness routine that's consistent, or eating healthy. Like, why are you doing it? Remind yourself when in the moments where you're like totally not wanting to do it, like why do you care about it in the first place? Is it because of like health and or like a medical issue that you might have that this could help with, or like your kids, things like that. So that's super, super good. With COVID going on, I think there's been this like greater awareness of like the importance of health and fitness for sure. Not only because of like the virus, but also just the result of being in the situation where for a really long time, like the things that would keep people active and busy ended up shutting down, like the gyms, work, even something as simple and as small as like, oh, on the weekend, like I could walk around the gym or the mall for 2 hours. Like I know in high school, like I guess my form of activity would just be like, okay, I'm going to go walk around the mall all night with my friends. Like even things like that had ended up just like stopping in the middle of the pandemic. So we've all had to find ways to keep from being too sedentary. So what were some things you did in quarantine to stay active?
So for me, before COVID even started, I always wanted to have like a home gym or like a garage gym. So I was slowly but surely, with like 2019, early 2019, I had started building like a garage gym. So by summertime for 2019, like my garage gym was complete. I had everything I needed: squat rack, like dumbbells, like everything that I needed. So I still had gym memberships and I would still go, but it was nice on those days where I didn't feel like just leaving the house. I could just stay home and work out. So I ended up getting my certification to be a trainer in November of 2019, and super excited to start training people. Got a job training, and then COVID hit. So gym shut down, couldn't train there anymore. So I actually started having clients come to my garage gym and train them there until everything really got shut down. And I completely just shut it down, just used it for myself, just for obvious health reasons and everything. But from there, I just started utilizing my social media, Instagram, to promote different workout challenges. So I would post my stories or make posts, just inviting anyone and everyone to come join a challenge for, let's say, the month of February or March, and say, so example, one challenge would be like a push-up challenge. Another month would be like jump rope challenge. So how many jump ropes can you do per day? And everyone would join the group, and then they would invite their friends. Everyone would join, and then each day you would post how many you did. Or a mile a day challenge. Everyone commits to running at least 1 mile a day. So joining that and seeing that grow and having like 50 plus people from all over the US kind of joining into that group definitely helped me out a lot, because not only did it hold me accountable because I was the one in charge of hosting the challenge. So if I wasn't posting in there that I'm actually doing the workout, then it just wouldn't make sense. So I had to stay and keep that standard. So those are ways that I did. And again, using my social media too, I would make workouts. I would record them and post them to my social media. So one of them would be like finding anything that you could use to be a weight. So I would use like a case of water and put it on my back and use it as something to squat. And it works. I mean, different things. You just had to be creative. Everything that happened with COVID just made everyone have to become creative if they really wanted to stay healthy and active. So just finding different ways, even that meant putting laundry detergent in trash bags or something, just anything, and people were doing some crazy stuff, but it was super encouraging, and it really pushed me to keep going too. So really finding anything and not letting the circumstances around you stop you from meeting your goals.
That's so important. That's so good. That's like just the fact that somebody put, I don't know if it was you, but whoever put detergent in the trash bags.
It worked. Double them up, the heavy duty.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, now that I think about it too, like that just goes to show, really, if you really want to work out or just get fit or do something, and even if the gym isn't available, like you can literally find anything. And
like, I know at times it seems like silly. Like when I put the case of water on my back, I was like, this is silly. But then I start going and I'm like, oh, this is actually working. I'm tired.
Or honestly, even like people, I've seen people like sit in their desk chairs and like do like different exercises. Like you can make it work. And that just goes to show. Yeah. Even just, you mentioned the ABC workouts that you like hosted with people, that I was a part of it for one, or you like chose the word and then we all like went through went through the word with the different workouts that were designated for the letter. And that's
my worst challenge. I hate that one.
But it was so good. So if anybody's interested, let me know or let Jay know, because it is so crazy, but like such a good way to exercise. And it's different every single time. Like you don't know if it's going to be hard or if it's going to be easier one day, but it's just a quick way. And it only took, I feel like it was never longer than like 30 minutes, I'd say, usually, to get like a quick workout in. So yeah, that's really neat. And really, I want to address the elephant in the room. I think that we've all had this moment of like, okay, I'm going to work out every single day this week or every single Wednesday this month. Like, I've got it down. You do that one Wednesday, and then after that, you're done. Like, somehow the goal just kind of disappeared and it was non-existent. So I think a lot of that comes back to like staying motivated, which you touched on just a little bit, but I want to hear a little bit more of like what keeps you motivated to stay healthy.
Yeah, so I would say the number one thing is how much of a stress reliever it is. Like I said earlier, like that's the main reason that I go to the gym, besides it being kind of a part of who I am now. And it's just something that I've done for so long that if I didn't do it, it wouldn't feel right. But also because of the fact that when you work out, like the endorphins that are released in your brain is basically like you're on a high. So it makes you feel good. And that's why after the gym, like you feel good. You might be tired, but you feel better. You feel like you can breathe better. And I just love the feeling that I get. Even when I'm like some seasons when I'm running a lot
Yeah.
Get that runner's high, and it really is real. Like, I hate running, but when I'm in a season of running and I'm running multiple miles at a time, at the beginning I'm like, okay, this sucks, but by the
Yeah.
end of it I'm like, this feels good. Like, I feel like on top of the world. I feel much better. My mood's better, and everything. So I would say what keeps me motivated the most is just wanting to stay in good shape. I just come from a family that aren't super active, that have health problems, really because of that very reason. And I never want to get into a position or put my family or kids in a position where I'm not able to be around because I didn't take care of the one thing that I had to take care of, which was myself, first and foremost. So I would hate to be in a situation like that. So I think that's the main thing. I just want to be healthy so I can live a long life, just through health and fitness. So that's the main thing. But I think also you need to add people to your life that's gonna keep you accountable for the things you say you're gonna do. So and that could just mean getting a workout partner or just having somebody that you might not go to the gym with them, but you check in with them often, just to make sure you're not falling off. So if I may not hear from a friend of mine for 2 days, I might be calling them on the phone or texting them like, hey, did you get your workout in? Or even now with Apple Watches and all these different apps and everything, you can be notified when your friend finishes a workout. You can see exactly where they're all right now. I'm looking at mine right now, and I can see exactly how far people have gotten today. If who didn't work out, who did. So it's awesome that you can do that. And so now I can like look, and I got a few people to text actually after this because they haven't hit their goal yet. But it's cool that you can do that now, and you can compete with each other on your Apple Watches or different apps that you have, and so it really keeps you accountable. So now if I don't, because one of my goals this year was to work out in some form or fashion for 30 minutes a day, for the whole year. So 365 days. That's been my goal. So
crazy.
One thing that I did, I posted that on my social media, so there was no, like, everyone knew, like, this is what he's doing. So I would post, like, if I worked out day 1 of 365, or when I work out. Now it's like day 60 or 70 something.
Have you kept up with it? Have you missed a day or no?
I haven't missed a day yet.
Wow.
So, and that doesn't mean that you're at the gym like going super crazy, because I know everyone needs to rest. You need to rest. That's so important, especially in fitness. Rest is super important. But on those days where I feel like, okay, I've kind of pushed my body to the limits, I'll still do something 30 minutes that's active. So if that means yoga or just something or a walk for 30 minutes, something that's an active rest day, to where I'm actually still able to burn some calories, still not just lounging on the couch all day, but something to get me up and get me active.
That's good. And I think that's a good reminder for us all. Like, fitness does not mean that we have to be like super extreme and active every single day, doing like 2 hours worth of workouts. Like, obviously that can't be healthy. Like, when you're doing that consistently, like, you need to let your body rest. Your body also gets sore, like your muscles get sore. You need to give them a chance to heal, things like that. Like, resting goes hand in hand with being active. And I'm like glad that you mentioned that, because I think there's this huge idea like, okay, if you're fit, you're always doing something that's extreme. And I think that you can be fit and always being active, but doing active things in a different way each day, whether it's like doing Pilates one day, doing yoga one day, even just like you said, taking a walk. Because I know right now, so many people have been taking walks every single day. I know that, like, in my life, like, I'm not extremely active in the sense that I like to go on runs every single day or anything like that. But like, taking a walk every couple of days or every single night has been not only good for like my physical health, but also mental health. And that can go right into just like physical health relates to our mental health and like other areas and aspects of our lives.
Yeah.
which is just as important. So as far as living a fit lifestyle, having healthy eating habits is a big part of that too, and can be. And so how does food play a role in your fitness?
So for me, so fitness, I would say that eating is literally like 70% of it,
Okay.
because you can work out all day long, but if you're eating trash, you're pretty much doing yourself a disservice.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm in that boat sometimes. Like not
Yeah.
right now, because right now I'm currently training for a competition coming up in June. So my diet has to be like super strict, just so I can meet the body fat requirements and everything for me to compete in the show.
Yeah.
But before that, so I started training for this show maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago. So before that, I was literally eating like, I wasn't super unhealthy. Like I would eat healthy at times, but like I wouldn't turn down a donut, or I wouldn't turn down like a, a few bad meals. And I think having cheat meals is awesome. Like you need to have those. Um, but sometimes I'll get carried away, and one cheat meal would turn into a cheat weekend, turn into a cheat week, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want and just make up for it in the gym. But now I'm really seeing the results of how diet really plays a role, because since I have to get such a low body fat, I'm eating less carbs, I'm intaking a lot more protein, and I'm taking in a lot less fat than I was.
Yeah.
So now I'm super conscious. Everything I grab, I'm looking at the back of what the nutrition facts are, and really trying to be cautious of the things that I put in my body, because for me training for the show, any little thing that I put in my body could have an effect on my body in a negative way, that I
Yeah.
don't want. So I think there has to be a healthy balance.
Mm.
So if that means that, hey, I'm going to bring my work or my lunch with me to work, so that I'm not going out to eat with coworkers every day, or I'm going to make it my cheat day on the weekend on Saturday or something. So like having these small goals where you're still actively like eating healthy, but at the same time you're giving yourself some leeway and still able to have fun and enjoy yourself on those times, throughout the week or the weekend, whatever you choose. But yeah, I think just making yourself aware and conscious of the things that you put in your body,
Yeah.
and it has such a great effect on your body depending on what you're eating. So yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Just like being intentional about what you're eating, and um, like that can be the start, honestly, to like getting into fitness or just leading a healthy lifestyle, like just slowly
Yeah.
doing it, being aware of what you're already eating, um,
Yeah.
things like that.
You
So
can tell when you're eating something that's bad, and then, like after you get done, it's like your body doesn't feel good. A
Taco
lot of
Bell,
time, it's so good when you're eating it, but
yes,
then after you're like, oh, why did I do that to myself? That was a terrible decision.
yes,
Um, and yeah, it's just finding that balance, because
yeah.
I love food so much.
And I think that's like the cool thing too. Like you are a personal trainer, you're going into bodybuilding, you care about fitness, and you don't hate food. And not like there's this like, I think, idea that we've built into our culture where if you're into fitness, um, you kind of have this like food, like I'm very picky about food or what I eat, or I can't have this snack or things like that. And it's just cool to see like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. Like you should absolutely like love the food that you're eating, like because when you do, you're more aware of it and you're more intentional about what you're putting in your body, and you care about it in a way where you can take care of yourself, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think
So
writing your food down too helps
yeah.
a lot. Like because I used to not track my food at all. I would eat all day, and I wouldn't be able to tell you like all the snacks that I had throughout the day. But now I'm like tracking in. There's so many apps. I use the carb manager. It's like the keto app,
Mhm.
and you can literally scan everything you eat, and it'll tell you exactly for the whole day what you had, how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat,
Oh
how
wow.
many grams of carbs, and you can set the goal what you want for yourself. So you can set the goal for your carbs to be under 300 grams of carbs for the day, or 250 grams of protein for the day or whatever the fat. But you can have it set up and it'll tell you, okay, this is where you're at. If you eat this, what you just scanned is going to put you this far over your goal. And it also helps too if you're just getting into fitness as well, because if you're trying to lose weight, but you're not tracking the food that you're eating and you're not seeing the results, it's probably because you're not tracking your food that you're eating. So you're not knowing and you're not aware of, okay, I'm trying to be in a calorie deficit. I'm trying to lose weight. So I'm trying to eat less calories than I'm actually burning so that I can cut fat that way. If you're not doing that, it can be hard. It's possible, but it makes it much easier on you when you're actually looking at the things that you're eating and tracking it daily.
Okay. Kind of because you mentioned like calories, grams, the amount of fat and things like that too. Does the app that you mentioned, if anybody wants to go and like look at it, but they have no idea of like how many grams of fat they should be having for their height and their weight, or how many calories they should be taking each day, will it like provide that information?
So I'm not sure if this app that I have does that. I know there's a bunch of apps out there that will. You literally just input like your height, weight, like you said, what your weight is now, and then what you want your weight to be, and it'll give you like a general like this is how much you should be intaking. But for me, I got that information from I have a couple coaches that are like nutrition specialists, and so I was able to get mine actually from them, so it's tailored to my body specifically. And there's places you can get that done online as well. But yeah, that's something that you would have to do to figure that out.
Okay, that's good to know. So you also mentioned that you're prepping for your first bodybuilding event in June. What does that look like right now?
It looks like struggling. Definitely, it's like I love like going to the gym is no problem. Like I'm gonna be there every day, no matter what. Like I have no problem going to the gym because I love being there and I love the feeling that I get from being there. And working out. So that's not the problem. The problem is the dieting, honestly, because I went from eating kind of anything and having people bring food into the office and different snacks and everyone just eating whatever they want and having that kind of around me to being super strict. You can only have this amount of carbs, this amount of protein, this amount of fat. And after that, you're done for the day, basically. So trying to find a balance, like I said earlier, between that and really being conscious of the things you eat. Prepping for the show, I started off at 195. Actually, I was a little bit over. I was like 196 or 197 starting weight, and I need to get down to 175 around that. And right now I'm currently sitting at 185. So it's working, but it's a long process. The show's not till June. It's June 12th. So I'm still about like 3 months out, but literally everything that I eat kind of plays a factor into the look that I want to get for the show. So it's a first bodybuilding competition. So I'm competing in classic physique and physique, men's physique. So it's really just about getting that low body fat, kind of having like a shredded look in order to compete and actually place well. So it's hard. It's a tough process. The first time I was supposed to do one in November of last year. And I was training for it for like 8 to 10 weeks. And I literally just caved. I started having like a couple weekends. I just started eating anything I wanted. And then I tried to get myself back. And then someone wanted me to go on a trip to Vegas. And I went on the trip and I was like, I don't want to just eat grass. Like I want to eat real food. I'm there. I'm going to enjoy it. I want like In-N-Out burger and things. So I ended up, and I found out the reason is because I really wasn't in it. Like my mind wasn't in it. I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I didn't know what to expect. And so I backed out of that show and I was like, I don't want to do anything that I'm not giving 100% to. So that's why I came back, because I knew what to expect. I knew how the lack of carbs and how much having low body fat is going to affect me, my mind, my me being tired. I knew all that stuff going in, and I was
Yeah.
prepared to take those things and use them as motivation just for me to do better at this time, and really to just test my mind just to see how strong I really am. Because I think you are much stronger than your mind wants you to believe, because the mind will tell you so often that you could just give up right now. It's fine. Like everybody else is not doing this. Like just give it a rest.
Yeah.
But when in reality, like your body can really keep going a lot longer than you think it can, and it's a lot stronger than you think. We've just become, as a society, more with social media and just a lot of different avenues like that. It just made us super um, relaxed and
Yeah.
just having a sedentary like lifestyle. So I really wanted to get out of that, and that's the way I kind of started this brand, No to Cozy. And I could talk about that a little bit later. I think that's a later on question, but yeah, I'll explain that more.
Yeah, well, honestly, if anybody wants to go ahead and bring in their questions, if you have any, and I was actually next, I was just going to ask you about, I saw your shirt and I know about it a little bit just because you're my brother-in-law and I have seen stuff about it. I've seen other people wear the shirts too. You started this brand, No to Cozy, but can you explain what that is and just give people a little more insight into No to Cozy and the brand of it?
Yeah, so I had originally had a brand called Me Against Me, and I'm sure you've heard that slogan before. But for me, that was something that I always used growing up, especially in the gym, like not looking at other people as my competition, but looking at myself as my only competition, and trying to be a better me. And so I started that brand in 2019, and then had a lot of good support from that. But it's something I was just like, this isn't exactly what I want my brand to be, because
Yeah.
it's so often people, you would hear that phrase, me against me, it's me versus myself. Like you hear that all the time, and I really wanted something that was more original, and that's still keeping the me against me kind of theme and kind of mindset, but I wanted to start something that I'd never heard anybody say, that wasn't already like a gym somewhere, that something that was completely original. So that's where I came up with No to Cozy, and it basically just came from me being in bed one day and not wanting to go to the gym, and the words no to cozy, like say no to cozy, say no to being comfortable, because I really just wanted to be comfortable and just lay in my bed and not go to the gym and just sleep. But I was starting to tell myself like no, like say no, like telling myself no to that comfort. So that's what No to Cozy means, just stepping out of that comfort zone, telling your mind that you are stronger than your desires of you wanting to be lazy, that you're going to push past those things, because honestly, there's so many people in the world that are less fortunate than
Yeah.
us, and that people that don't have limbs, people that are disabled, like that are still out there doing things and still pushing themselves beyond their limits, and things like that motivate me so much. So often when I'm saying that to myself, No to Cozy, I'm thinking of people like that are doing the things that I don't want to do, and things that they don't want to do either, but they're doing them. That really pushes me to keep going, because yeah, I think it's just really good to have that mindset that nothing's going to get in my way, not
Yeah.
even myself.
Yeah. And that's good. Like because I remember when you started Me Against Me, and obviously like that works too, and that's what you started with, and it's gotten you to this point. But there is this like, it's almost like bigger than that. Like, yes, sometimes the battle can be against ourselves, but honestly, it's like against like anything that can really just make us feel comfortable and want us to like stay in this place of like feeling safe, or just like keeping us where we're at, keeping us stagnant, and honestly like in that sedentary place. Um, it's about like saying no and beating those things and pushing ourselves to to get out of that like cozy space that we're in,
Yeah.
if it's ourselves or if it's social media or the TV or the comfort of our beds, honestly. So we've got a couple of questions that have come in. The first one, someone said, what would you recommend to do to start out with if you don't want to consistently work out and want to? Wait, okay. What would you recommend to do to start out with, or to start out with if you don't want to consistently work out? Like if you are trying to start out slow, and you don't want to like set a like, oh, okay, 3 days a week. Maybe is there something slower or something somebody could do like once a week, anything like that?
Yeah, I honestly, and I don't go to these all the time. Sorry, hold on a second. I don't go to these all the time, but I've been a few times, and like at the YMCA or like a lot of gyms, they have these group classes, some like Zumba or like different group exercise classes, and I've gone to those like, and they're fun because you don't know people, and you might
Yeah,
bring someone you know, and it's fun. Um, but you're dancing, you're having a good time, but at the same time you're getting a workout in, and I think that's something that might be good for somebody that's just kind of wanted to try things out and just to see um, how it makes them feel. Something just to start out, just to see if they'll like it consistently. But I think trying to find a class or something that you like, it doesn't have to be like Zumba or something, but they have like different things like aqua Zumba or like different things in the pools that they have group classes for. Like find whatever you like and try to do those things. I think finding something around the things that you enjoy will make you more consistent in the gym if you decide to be. But yeah, those classes are, and some of them are hard. Like,
yeah,
and I was someone that was like, I would go in there, and sometimes I went in there with my wife one time, and it was a group full of women, and I'm like, this class is gonna be super easy. Like, it's nothing. Um, but I went in there after doing a workout, and it was one of the hardest classes I've ever done. And I was like sweating, I was like drenched. I was like, okay, I underestimated this. Like, this is something good. If you don't want to do like a class or something, I would suggest doing like these YouTube workouts just in the comfort of your home. I literally the other day I was feeling bad about something I ate, so I just started on a rampage. I like went outside and ran, and I came home and I was like, I'm gonna do something else because I feel like crap. So I ended up turning on YouTube and just looking up a workout, and it was
it's as
the
simple as that, honestly.
yeah, it was this insanity workout for 30 minutes,
Yes.
and I was drenched in sweat. It was super hard, but just there's so many options. There was such a long list of different workouts I could have picked from, but just finding what you like, finding the intensity level you like, and there's so much now with just the internet and everything, and so many people on social media that have so many different options. So I would start there too. If you
Yeah.
don't want to necessarily go into a gym and join a class, I would think doing it by yourself or even jumping on Zoom like this and doing it with a friend or something or a group of friends.
Yeah. Well, someone else asked, what's your inspiration, or who is your inspiration?
Who's my inspiration? Also, I read this book called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and by far, and I'm not a reader. Like I honestly, I hate reading because I just feel like I'm wasting my time a lot of time. So I read this book and it literally changed my life. And I'll probably read it again. I'm actually listening to the ebook now, like usually when I do cardio.
Mm-hmm.
But Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And that's someone to, and it depends on your style. Like I like the type of motivation where someone's like yelling at me, like telling me like about myself, like, no, you need to be doing this. Like, and some people are different. Some people like a little softer approach. Like my wife, she likes a softer approach to motivation. She doesn't want me screaming and yelling at her, telling her how bad she is.
Yeah.
But that's the type that I like. I like someone that's going to tell me about myself and make me realize that I have much more potential that I'm not activating. So that's one of one of the people that motivate me. The Rock is another one, just because he's such a big influence on me, especially in the gym as well. And he posts a lot of inspirational things. And he's also that type that will yell at you and basically tell you that you need to get your stuff together. And yeah, he puts it all out there. Another one is a guy. He's not really a fitness guy, but his name's Eric Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And he does like motivational speeches, and he travels the world. And you've probably heard one of his talks. His most famous one is basically talks about until you want to be it's as successful as you want to breathe, then you won't be successful. Like, so he's like one of those big motivational speaker guys that are out right now. And he pretty much gives the same vibe. He talks about kind of like his background and where he came from and how he struggled, but that's not an excuse to hold him back.
Yeah.
He can do a lot, even with the negative things that have happened, that you're in control of what happens in your life now. So those are a couple. I have a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for someone that's going to kind of motivate me, because it's hard being motivated at times, especially since COVID hit. It's difficult to find that motivation.
Honestly, yeah, it really is. And I think that you mentioned how everybody kind of has like this different motivation or style of like being motivated. Like you like the person yelling at you.
Yeah,
and
like I like the boot camp, like that style, like
you
drill sergeant type.
Yes, and I know even for me, I'm like, okay, I need like, let's just sit and relax, and you can do this when you're ready. Like that type of motivation. But I think that's the nice thing about resources like YouTube or Instagram. Like you can find people who are in this fitness world that are geared towards the type of motivation that works for you, honestly. And that's just like the cool part about like social media and all that we have like access to. And like now with just like the rising of like people caring more about health and fitness right now, currently in this time that we're in, like we have the ability to go out and find these people and to be motivated in that sort of way that works for us. So the last question that we always end with for Community and Culture Night is, what does community mean to you?
Community to me, I think it means like having a group of people that are going to be around you, a group of people that are going to be in your circle, a group of people that are kind of on the similar path as you.
Mm-hmm.
That way you guys are all moving in that same direction. And if you guys are getting slowed down, you can identify what the problem is, or you guys are checking in with one another, and just having a group that's going to hold you accountable, like I've talked about. Because if you don't have a group of people or a person that's going to hold you accountable, who's going to push you on those days where you don't feel like going to the gym? And a lot of people might say, I'll just do it myself, and have that independent mindset. Like I'm a super independent person, but I know like sometimes I need to reach out to someone to help me, or sometimes I need to ask this person to go to the gym with me because I don't feel like going. So I think having that support system around you, whether it be friends or family or just different groups that you might find on social media, I think really getting plugged into a group of people that are trying to better themselves is definitely something that you need to do if you're really interested in getting involved in getting on a healthy lifestyle and a fitness lifestyle.
So necessary. Find your people that can motivate you and do it with you, and that's kind of just a good place to begin. So Jay, we're so thankful that you came on and just shared a little bit about your fitness journey, what it's like to be a personal trainer, and also about your brand No to Cozy. For people who are interested, where can they find you? Where can they find more about like No to Cozy if they want to know more, or if they want to buy your merch? And then also, if people are interested in getting personal training, how should they contact you?
Yeah, so my main page for Notacozy is literally at Notacozy, or it's this way, at Notacozy. Right now, my personal social media is deactivated, taking a little social media break, but I'll be back super soon. But this page is still active, so you can follow me on there. Once you get there's not any posts or anything yet because I haven't launched officially. So I've made like some sample products and I've given them to a few people. So you might have seen
They look
I'm wearing
good.
them at the gym.
Yeah.
But so it's looking like April is the official launch. So if you want to start following me now, that'd be perfect. You can reach me on there as well. I'm on there every day. If you're looking for personal training or anything like that, or just advice or personal training just through Zoom or something, I have so many different options that we can do. So you can find me on there. And my personal page is at the real Jay Broader. And once that's reactivated, I'll post all that stuff on the Notacozy page and everything. So if you want to follow me now, the launch will be coming. Lots of products, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me.
Excited too. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Well, that sums up the night, guys. That was so exciting. Just hearing all about fitness definitely motivated me to just go ahead and get on out there and like just work hard to take care of my body because, hey, in less than a month, I'm turning 25. And I know that's not too old, but in all honesty, I want to start now. So thank you, Jay, for just motivating us to get fit, take care of our bodies, and to find a way to be motivated that works for us, find workouts that work for us. Yeah, so we are actually not going to be having a Zoom tonight. We did make this this community and culture night event a little bit longer because of that. But thanks, guys, for joining us. Thank you for the questions. Next month is our 1 year of doing C&C. So stay tuned for more updates about that and what the next event is going to be. Good night, guys.